Good morning. Welcome back to the Red Mic. Happy Tuesday. Glad you're here. Today's Red Mic message, rent free. Now, I almost called it Being a Duck. You may remember, you may not. I did a Red Mic a long time ago. I'd have to go back and look in the archives where I talked about Be a Duck, sort of a twist on the whole Ted Lasso, Be a Goldfish thing. Talking about how ducks, their feet are always moving, but the surface is clear. Well, this is a different reason why I almost called this Be a Duck, and that's because of their water repelling ability. You've heard the phrase water off a duck's back. That's because you pour water on there, and the way where their feathers are and whatnot, water just sheets off of it miraculously. It's like Rain X on your windshield. That applies to today's Red Mic message, which again is rent free. A lot of people have heard some version of this old saying. The first person, the ordinary person, will seek revenge when they are wronged in some way. The second person, who's a little wiser, they'll forgive. The third person, who is extraordinary, who is brilliant, they never give it another thought. They move on. To them, it's like water off a duck's back. And now most of us, we understand the first two. The third one, though, it's a lot harder because it sounds impossible. How can you not be bothered by criticism, insults, unfair treatment, or people who seem determined to make life more difficult, especially just for you? Now, Marcus Aurelius spent a lot of time thinking about that question, which makes sense. He was the emperor of Rome, after all. If anybody had a reason to be offended, irritated, distracted, or angry, it was probably old Marcus. Yet, his writings reveal a man who understood something that most people never learn. Attention is valuable. Every day, people compete for your attention. The news wants it. Social media wants it. Advertisers want it. Coworkers want it. Strangers on the street, they want your attention. And occasionally, somebody wants your attention simply because they are unhappy and would like you to be unhappy too. Now, also, sometimes, and usually actually most of the time, most people aren't thinking about you at all. Now, Marcus, he understood that every moment that you spent dwelling on nonsense or something that you have no control over, it's a moment unavailable for something that really matters. Your family, your faith, your work, your friends, your goals, your purpose in life. One of the most underrated skills in life is knowing what deserves your attention. The people who accomplish meaningful things are rarely the people who answer every critic, chase every distraction, or win every argument. They're usually the people who remain focused on the mission. While everybody else is looking sideways, they're looking forward. There's a scene in the movie The Fugitive. And again, interns, if you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's probably streaming somewhere right now. Anyway, in The Fugitive, Richard Kimball finally gets Deputy U.S. Marshal Sam Gerard at gunpoint. It's the scene that happens in the dam. After spending the entire movie up till that point trying to prove his innocence, Kimball says, while holding the guy at gunpoint, he says, "I didn't kill my wife." Now, Gerard's response is immediate. "I don't care." Now, Gerard doesn't literally mean he doesn't care whether Kimball is innocent. What he means is, that's not what I'm focused on right now. That's my job. My job is to bring you in. Gerard isn't consumed by anger. He's not seeking revenge. He's not emotionally invested in Richard's story. He has a mission, and his attention remains fixed on that mission. Now, whether Gerard was right or wrong in that moment isn't really the point. The point is, he was not allowing someone else's circumstances to take control of his focus. And most of us do the opposite. We spend a lot of time, a lot of precious, precious time, replaying conversations that no longer matter, imagining responses we should have given, rehearsing arguments that will never happen, checking comments we know that will irritate us. Or worse, checking comments that aren't actually there. Allowing someone else's behavior to occupy valuable real estate inside our heads. We've become landlords for the people up here who aren't paying rent. Marcus Aurelius had a better approach. When something happened, he effectively asked a simple question. Does this deserve my attention? Not, can I win? Can I get even? Can I prove I'm right? But simply, does this deserve my attention? And most things don't. Annoyances usually expire quickly if we stop focusing on them. Insults lose their power if we refuse to carry them as baggage. Most distractions disappear when they fail to receive the attention that they wanted. And that's where the old saying really becomes interesting. The first person seeks revenge, the second person forgives. The third person, again, does something much rarer. They remain focused on their mission. They don't ignore reality. They don't pretend something wrong didn't happen. They don't deny that people can be unfair, dishonest, rude, malicious. They simply refuse to make those people even a secondary point of the story of their own lives. Wise people are not the ones who never encounter foolishness. They're the ones who refuse to build a home for it because your attention is limited. Every day you spend attention on one thing means you can't spend it on something else. Attention is one of the few things you can never get back once it's spent. And not everything deserves a response. You do not have to attend every argument you're invited to. Distractions, again, are only going to stick around because you feed them. So stay focused on the mission, not every annoyance along the way. Don't let people live rent-free in your head when they contribute nothing to your life. In other words, life is short, drink the bourbon, right? Attention is limited. Time is precious. So choose carefully. That's today's Red Mike message. I hope you found it interesting. I hope you found it helpful. Thanks to the guy who reminded me of these three things. I appreciate you all very much. Please give me a like, a follow, and a share. I hope to see you again tomorrow. And until next time, again, life is short. Drink the bourbon.